With Christmas just around the corner, are you struggling with decision fatigue or analysis paralysis? Today on Return to Eden, we're going to be discussing various health-related gift ideas, hopefully inspiring you to find the perfect gift for that special someone this holiday season. I'm Kendra Hand, fitness and nutrition specialist, here again with my dear friend Jamie Woodle, integrative nutrition health coach and master of science in health education. So, Jamie, I'm curious, are there any health-related gifts that you have gotten that just stand out to you?
Yes, there are a few. My husband is a great gift giver. I wish I could say the same about myself. I feel like I fail, but I think it was last year he got me this book called The Lost Herbs. And we have had so much fun with that as a family. We take it around our property. We have about 10 acres, and we look at the different edibles or herbal plants, and then we go see if we have them on our property. And so far we've found things like mullein, prickly pear cactus, even mugwort.
What about gifts that you're excited to give?
Yes, I love to give our Eden's body care line out.
That is a good
and
one.
I hope it's not too cliche because I work for Eden's, but I love our body care line. It's healthy for you. I use it myself. And so I often give that as a gift to family members or friends during Christmas.
And it's a good safe bet too. I mean, I have extremely sensitive skin. And as a little girl, actually, I had to use a specific kind of pillow and specific kinds of soap that were fragrance free and no harsh chemicals. So finding a body care line like ours that can provide me with nourishment for my hair and my skin while not creating these big inflammatory responses is deeply valuable to me. One of my favorite gifts that I ever got that could be considered health related is my KitchenAid mixer. So when I was probably 12 or 13, my stepmother got a white KitchenAid mixer, and she had all of the little attachments for it. She actually ended up like selling wedding cakes and stuff, but I wanted it every moment. Since then, I visited it at the store. I dream of it. And it was actually not a Christmas gift. I got it for Mother's Day from my brother-in-law, and he was so excited. He showed up at my house and he didn't wrap it. And you'd have to know my brother-in-law to understand how big of a deal this was. But he showed up at my house at like 8 o'clock at night, and he's like, "Here's your Mother's Day present." And I had to remind myself to breathe. I was so excited to get this mixer. We've named her Delilah. And since then, I have been able to make my own breads, to make from scratch cheesecakes. And there are tons of things that you can do related to health with the KitchenAid mixer. One thing I'm really hoping I get this year is the attachment that allows you to grind your own meat and make your own like sausages and ground beef and things like that. Making sure to leave out those nitrates and nitrites that can be so harmful to our health and all of those added chemicals, really. So it has been a beautiful experience and something that's been so fun for me and my family to be able to do together. So shout out to my brother-in-law for getting me literally the best present I have ever gotten in my life.
Well, I'll have to try to top that this year.
It's going to be a tough one.
Another present that comes to mind that my husband has gifted me is like a fitness watch. And I've had different ones through the years. He originally gave me, I think it was like a Fitbit brand. And then since then, for last year, I got one of the newer Garmin's.
Ooh.
And I love it because they'll often track sleep, your steps, your calorie burn. I love looking at all the different info that comes through. It also shows me texts and things like that, which is really helpful at work when I can't always get to my phone, but I can quickly look at my watch.
And doesn't it remind you to like stand up? Sometimes it seems like I can remember while we're sitting in the office, it being like, it's time to stand up.
Yes,
So that's useful too, because we can kind of get in the zone and not really be as focused on what we can do to be promoting our health in those office moments where we're so focused on getting our work done.
That's true. And a lot of the newer science is showing that fitness is more effective when it's broken up throughout the day. So all these years I've been wearing various fitness watches, and it's like it vibrates and it's like move, move, and I'm like, shut up, I'm in the middle of an email. But it is actually
telling
better.
me how to live my life.
Yes, but it's actually better if I would train myself instead to listen and get up and spend just 5 minutes doing some squats or whatever it is you can do, take a few walks around the office building. It is really beneficial for your body. So I loved that gift.
And I really like that there's such a variance in like cost, functionality, and look when it comes to those fitness trackers. I mean, you can get ones that look like a little watch. You can get some that maybe are just connected to your phone. I think there was one when I worked in residential facilities that you just like hook onto your side, almost like an MP3 player. And it was specifically a pedometer, something that was tracking the number of steps. I also like that there's a little bit of like a video game feel to it. I do enjoy video games from time to time. So it would be really fun for me to like see my stats and be able to track my improvement over time, just because, you know, we're all kids at heart, right?
Yes. And if you don't want to watch, or maybe your loved one doesn't really wear jewelry, there are actually fitness journals you can get. And there's such a wide variety. Some of them you can use to motivate you, where you write your goals down and you can keep track of what you've eaten that day, calories, if that's one of your goals. You can write down the amount of water that you've been drinking, or rate your sleep or your mood. There's so many various kinds that you can look at and get, and they're very reasonably priced, most of them.
Well, and super cute too. I mean, I tend to be a little whimsical in my style. I like pretty little flowers and tiny mushrooms and, you know, cute little things. So I do like the idea of a fitness journal, and that it can be deeply personalized to whoever you're purchasing it for. So it tells the person that you love that you care about their health. You want them to be able to achieve these goals that are so important, but also that you know them on an emotional and mental level too. So it's one of those things that when it comes to gift giving, I really want to focus on letting the people I love know that they are seen and understood. And these fitness trackers are a great way to get all of those points across at once.
Yes, but be discerning. There are some people who may be sensitive and they're like, what are you trying to tell me?
That's true. That's
are
where
you
knowing
saying
people-
I'm fat? You know? So be discerning. But I really appreciated mine. But my husband knew that fitness and nutrition was a goal of mine, and it will forever be.
And
because
he's so sweet and
he
intuitive.
is.
What a
He
good
is.
man.
He is. I wish some of that would rub off on me, because I'm the one going, oh gosh, what do I get him this year?
Men are really difficult to buy for. I
can be.
experience the same thing when it comes to the men in my life. My brother-in-laws have a tendency to just go out and get what they want. I'm incredibly blessed, though, in that they are very patient with me. So finding the right gift for the right person, whether that's knowing intuitively that they would like a fitness tracker or a journal, or, you know, something more in line with like my perspective, where I want to be able to create healthy foods and meals for my family. So what a great opportunity to let the people you love know that you're paying attention and that you want them to be happy.
This is funny. I have a shiatsu foot massager in our office. That was a gift from my husband one year. And the back one that I have, it goes on your chair and it'll heat up and massage your back. And I don't utilize those near enough. They're there for us to use.
We have them. Do
We're so
we
busy.
use them? Not always.
But I do love it. And that would be a good gift idea if you have someone who is always struggling with sore feet or a sore back. That is something that would be a great gift idea.
Or tension headaches. I've seen online they have these massagers that you wrap around your neck and kind of hold. And, you know, people who suffer from migraines, tension headaches, or any kind of stress, a lot of people carry that in their shoulders and in their back. So that might be a great idea to help remediate some of those issues that people have. And the added bonus is they'll think about you every time they use that.
That's true. You know what? I even saw on Amazon, an eye massager. I don't think I would like an eye massager. I had to look at it. I was like, there's
That's
no way.
weird.
It massages around the eye. Obviously, it's not massaging the eyeball.
Ugh, gross.
But it was really interesting. Like, I didn't know that was the thing. I don't even know if I'd enjoy that, but
Maybe
interesting.
somebody would.
Maybe.
Another gift that I got, I think it was last year, was a new set of pots and pans. So I love to cook. I bring it up all of the time. Trying new recipes is something that brings me a tremendous amount of joy. And as I have gone through my journey with educating myself in terms of nutrition and health, I'm learning new things. So my fixation at this point last year was Teflon. I was starting to do some research into how damaging Teflon can be for our health and how much of that actually leaches into the food that we're creating.
And for the people who don't know, these are like plastics that are leached into your food. So these plastic toxins, such as polymers or perfluorinated compounds, such as PFCs, PFAS, PFOA, PTFE, all these acronyms, they are toxic and they disrupt our immune system and our hormones. And for years, people have been using these pans. So finding someone you love and gifting them a set of pans that are not the nonstick kind would be such a blessing for them.
I personally prefer cast iron to most things, but I do have a really great set of ceramic coated dishes that I have gravitated towards using. And one thing I've noticed about them is they are much easier to clean than I was expecting them to be. And they have caused me to be a lot more aware of what I'm utilizing in terms of utensils and, of course, the actual pots and pans and even plates.
Yeah. Absolutely. We recently have made the switch to the compostable, disposable plates if we're going to use those. You have to be careful. You have to really read it because they'll say, oh, it's compostable, but then you flip it on the back and it's like only at certain facilities. So you're not supposed to compost it in your backyard.
Right.
You have to take it to a facility. So it clearly has some type of toxins or something in it. But also the thing I've really enjoyed lately and I want to get more of are stoneware. I have a stoneware baking sheet. I have a muffin tin and a pizza plate. They are rather spendy, but they last and they kind of season themselves over time.
They get better and better. And I love how evenly they heat. That's one of the things I really enjoy about cast iron too. So the stoneware, I remember my stepmother having Pampered Chef stone, and it was this massive circular pizza pan. And she had it for years and years and years, and it developed such a season on it that it becomes nonstick. And we used that thing to death. I mean, for everything from pizza to cookies to breads to anything you can imagine that gets cooked in the oven.
Also cups. Cups are really trending, like the tumblers with the handle.
Oh, yeah. Hydration gifts.
Yes, those are great gifts. But if you're someone is conscious of their health, maybe be careful and make sure that they're not the kind that leach metals. There's actually a class action lawsuit against the Stanley cup manufacturers because it is now being found out that they use lead to help vacuum seal their cups, which helps give them that thermal quality where it keeps your hot fluids hot and cold cold. They claim that it does not leach into whatever fluid you're putting in your cup, but people are very upset that they didn't know this. So that's what has brought the lawsuit about. So an alternative would be a glass cup with a stainless steel straw. I've seen some with glass straws, but I'm really clumsy.
Yeah.
And I'm afraid I might
drop it.
Yeah, or I'd get cut. Tragic small story here. I remember drinking from a cup once and I wasn't paying attention and I went down to grab my straw and it went up my nose and caused a massive nosebleed.
Oh.
What if I did that with a glass straw and it broke off in my nose?
Oh, with your eyeball.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Well, I don't know that I don't know that the steel ones would be any better for that, for those of us who are clumsy. But you want to make sure that it is a kind that has been certified as non-toxic. There's no risk of heavy metals. Glass, like we mentioned, is a great alternative.
Ceramic. And if you're not sure, if you're not feeling confident, there are kits that you can purchase online to test the lead content in various different things in your home. So look out for those. That's another alternative. If you want to get that metal cup, but you're just not sure if you can trust it, test it. Always better to be safe than sorry.
You know what just came to mind too is fermentation kits. I have wanted to ferment my own food for so long, but I'm a little nervous to do it. And before I started working for Eden's, I used Eden's products, and they had on there a fermentation kit. And I always thought, oh, next purchase, I'll get that. No, next purchase, I'll get that. And then I finally came around to, I'm going to get that. And we ran out. We need to bring that back.
We do. Fermentation kits. That's a thing I hadn't thought of. But one of the things that I've always wanted to do is make kimchi. It's one of my favorite things to eat. And so I watch a lot of videos on how to do that. And they have those very specific little containers and they push way down. And I'm just fascinated with that. My late husband actually made his own kombucha for a while. And so I have a lot of the components of that as well. So what a good idea for someone who's really trying to focus on gut health. And if you're curious about gut health, we did do a program related to that topic. Additionally, in the archives, there's another program that focuses on fermentation specifically. So definitely check those out. You can find them on the Skywatch TV website or download the Skywatch TV app, where you'll have access to not just the archived Return to Eden programs, but also the Donna Howell Show, Skywatch TV, and another fan favorite, the Simply His Coffee Shop.
So these fermentation kits, it looks like you can find them online, and they're usually jar lids and attachments because there's some exchange of gas and burping that happens during that natural fermentation process. It looks like you can buy a kit for somewhere between $20 to $45.
So just like with the fitness trackers, it's something that you can easily work into a budget and personalize for the person that you're looking towards. For instance, I prefer the idea of making kimchi.
You know what I was thinking about putting on my own Christmas list, selfishly for myself. But the whole family benefits, okay.
Right? It's
All right.
an everybody gift. It counts.
Instead of an ice cream maker, it's a frozen fruit maker.
We have one, actually.
You have one?
I have one at my house. John and Carol actually gave it to me and my kids this last summer, and we've had a ton of fun with it. It was kind of like when I first got it, I was taking it all apart and trying to figure out how to get it back together, and I had this moment of panic where I couldn't figure out how to get the pieces back together after I had taken them apart. So don't be like me and throw your manual out immediately. But we have done various different types of fruit, mixed fruits. The next thing I want to try is freezing some Greek yogurt and seeing if I can't run that through with the fruit to give it more of a creamy texture. But I will say my children have loved everything that's come out of that. It's sort of closer to a sorbet than an ice cream, but it's been amazing. And we had so much fun with it this summer. So definitely put that on your list. Maybe you have a best friend somewhere that can get you that for Christmas. Another thing to consider for health conscious people is a microgreens kit, which is another thing that I've been interested in. I love sprouts. And I like the texture, I like the flavor, I like the variance in color that it brings to dishes and just how you can add it to almost everything. So a microgreens kit that you can also find online or in a local store could be a great gift option for someone who's trying to take some forward steps in their health.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, the microgreens kit are usually, they come with like grains or veggies and herb seeds, and you sprout them. And some come with a grow light, some just come with the trays.
Right.
So the health benefit is that they're very dense with vitamins and minerals. And it's the gift that keeps giving because you can keep buying seeds and doing these microgreens all year long. I really like them on a sandwich. It gives them a nice crunch.
I also like being able to add them to different soups and stews. So typically after Thanksgiving, you have like your leftover turkey carcass and maybe some meat. So I'll make a turkey pho, and the sprouts are something that goes so well just naturally with that. Stir fries are another great opportunity, or just grab a little pinch and have a snack.
They're a great option too, because you can get them at various price ranges. You can pay as little as $20 all the way up to, I've seen some $150. Those are usually the ones with the really fancy grow light.
Yeah. And it's a great starting point too. If you're just looking to help maybe nudge someone you love in a more healthy direction without making them feel like you're passing judgment, like with a fitness journal.
Yeah.
Getting them a microgreens kit is a good middle of the ground way to say, I love you. I care about your health, why don't you try this?
It also gives a good sense of accomplishment for anyone who has raised animals or had a garden. You're like, oh, I made this. I nurtured this.
I would like that particularly because I am not a good gardener.
No?
And so I think a microgreens kit would be a good way to give myself that feeling of accomplishment without having to also be like, oh, I forgot to water you today. One thing you may not realize we also carry with Eden's Essentials are various books that are related to organic gardening, seeds, and how to know which ones are going to work. There's the Overcoming Cancer book by Miss Lynette Hill. That would be an incredible resource and just a really uplifting story overall. I couldn't put that one down. I read the whole thing in one day.
Yeah.
So take a look at our edensessentials.com website and see if maybe there's a book that the health conscious person in your life would enjoy focusing on for a while.
And along those lines, another great gift would be some organic coffee or organic teas like that you can find at the skywatchtvstore.com. And you can get it from Simply His. They carry their own line of organic teas and coffee. And it's what I use. I use their coffee. It's so good.
There are various different herbal teas that you can get. edensessentials.com does have the soursop loose leaf tea, which I have found myself enjoying, not just for the health benefits, but the flavor as well. And I prefer the Cup of Theology blend from Simply His when it comes to coffee. You can get that in a whole bean or ground version. And it's a wonderful gift if you're creating a gift basket, or you could even get a Simply His coffee mug along with it for the teacher in your life that you'd like to show some appreciation for.
That's true. And I've always felt like the organic kinds tend to taste better. And remember, we found out that there is an additional benefit to buying organic, and that's an increased amount of polyphenols, which is a powerful antioxidant that is in colorful fruits, vegetables, beans, basically all plant foods. And it's because when they're not using the same type of pesticides, there is a little bit of nibbling that happens where pests may nibble slightly on the fruit or the bean. And as a defense, these plants make more polyphenols. So not only does it taste better, but it's better for the environment and it is better for your body.
Wow, that's something I hadn't considered, but I do tend to think the organic tastes better as well. So that makes perfect sense. If you missed our program related to polyphenols and blue zones, take a look in the archives because there's some great information available there too.
I think it's also worth noting because you know me and I am obsessed with the science and reading the studies.
Yes.
There is one study from 2013 where they performed toxic element testing on 30 different teas after steeping. And they found that most brewed tea contains lead and aluminum at levels unsafe during pregnancy and lactation.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
what a thing to consider.
So just another reason why you might want to consider finding the organic ones, because when they use those pesticides, those heavy metals in the ground, which the plants then absorb and then we eat, and that's how we contaminate ourselves with unhealthy levels of these heavy metals.
Essential oils are another great gift, and those are things that can typically be used topically or in a diffuser. So not only do you have the option to get someone essential oils, again, we do suggest using organic essential oils whenever possible, and we do have a line of those available on edensessentials.com. But you can also look into different diffusers to fit your person's personality.
Yes.
So those are a wide array of designs, sizes, and then there's even jewelry.
Yes.
And actually, you're the one that turned me onto that just recently because they have various different things, bracelets, necklaces, things that you can add just drops of essential oils to so that you can experience those benefits throughout the day. And when it comes to children, one thing that has been a consistent for my daughter, I don't know where she got it because definitely not from me, but she loves to play with makeup. So when she was very young, I did some research into that, and it turns out that makeup that you purchase in like the toy section for your children does not require the same testing that regular cosmetics do. So a lot of those products, if you buy makeup in the children's toy section, are going to have extremely high levels of harsh forever chemicals and lead. So if you are going to be purchasing makeup products for your children, we highly encourage encourage you to buy traditional cosmetic products from the cosmetic department that have gone through the rigorous testing to ensure that they're safe to be put on your skin.
So there is one brand that is actually certified Environmental Working Group safe. So there is no toxins in this children's makeup, and it's by the brand Jovy, Jovy. So if you're thinking about getting the gift of makeup for one of the children in your life to play with, you might consider looking into that brand, especially because sometimes they're so young, they're putting their fingers in their mouth or even your pet may come up and lick their face, and it can just be all around bad.
Yeah, my daughter went through a phase where one of her favorite things to do was put makeup on her older brother. And one day they had come in and asked if they could play makeup. And I said, yes, of course, because it's such a great way to encourage her creativity, which she's just got in spades. But she used a purple eyeshadow to paint his entire face.
Oh, wow.
Like from here up, the kid was solid purple. I don't even know how she had enough purple to get the pigment that deep. And when you think about just the expansive skin that is covered in that, you want to be sure that that's not something that could cause an adverse reaction in your child or in anyone that's receiving makeup as a gift.
I think along the lines of children's gift, what about getting them like a cooking set, like measuring cups, an apron, a cookbook? That'd be really good if you're trying to inspire a sense of ownership for that child in the kitchen, to get them to try more healthy foods.
Right. That is one thing we do in my house where I don't force them to eat certain things, but I do have a deal. Like, you have to try it at least 3 or 4 times. You have to give it a chance. And if you hate it, then you don't have to eat it again after that. But I will confirm that giving them the opportunity to participate in that process of preparation is something that has helped so much in getting them to try. And actually, your little James has helped a lot too, because he makes these great smoothies. Oh, yeah. And I remember one of the first times Revolution stayed the night at your house, he sent me probably 15 videos of every stage of the process of smoothie making with James. And he's since then been very excited to come up with his own smoothie recipes. And we've all been able to enjoy the fruits of those types of things.
Well, what about for an adult in your life? Because I don't know that I would trust a child with this, but those infrared devices that are supposed to help promote healing.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. And it's, we've discussed light therapy in our last episode when it was related to things that we can do to improve our mental health throughout the holiday season. So accounting for the mental health of people that you love is another great way to find a health-related gift that's going to fit into their lifestyle.
Well, they even have handheld ones. We have a little flashlight. And so these little near infrared wavelengths for the purpose of modulating biological activities such as improving wound healing and building collagen. These devices, I've seen them all kinds. Like you can get a mask to go over your face.
I've seen the masks.
Yeah, little flashlights. Like we have pads that you can put on like your sore back or whatever. That might be a good gift if you have someone in your family that has a lot of aches and pains. Maybe they need a little additional healing on the skin. So that is something to keep in mind.
Absolutely. We have run ourselves out of time again today. Next time on Return to Eden, we're going to be discussing the different gift bundles and ideas that are available on our website specifically. Stay tuned for that, and we hope you have a blessed day.